I'll steal his if I need a pen.
Steal mine if you need
Here
it.
we go. Sherry, you ready? Go ahead.
Regular meeting of Washington, Missouri City Council, Monday, August 21st, 2023, 7 p.m. Bear,
Here.
Briggs,
Here.
Coulter,
Here.
Heidrich,
Here.
Holtmeyer, Patke,
Here.
Reed,
Here.
Wessels.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will all the council members answer if they have or have not read the minutes of the council meeting dated August 7th, 2023? Bear,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Coulter,
Yes.
Heidrich,
Aye.
Patke,
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Patke, second by Coulter to approve the minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Approval and adjustment of agenda, including consent agenda. You have the Collector's Treasurer's Report Summary for March 2023, Investment Report for March 2023, Liquor License Drogies Caterers LLC.
Need another motion or discussion.
Move to approve if there's no discussion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Patke, second, or, I'm sorry, motion by Bear, excuse me, second by Briggs. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that approves.
Priority items, Washington Fire Department officers.
Within your packets, you've got a letter that's signed by the fire chief, Tim Frankenberg. Basically, this is an annual letter that they send to us after they vote in the officers that's selected by the membership to serve the Washington Fire Department through July of 2024. The fire chief, Tim Frankenberg, Assistant Chief Mark Scornia, Deputy Chief of Support Mike Holtmeyer, Deputy Chief of Administration Louis Buzz Eckelkamp III. Fire company membership stands at 74 with recruitment a constant priority.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Heidrich. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Welcome back, gang. Motion approved.
Mayor's presentations, appointments, and reappointments. Proclamation celebrating Othmar Ott Jasper.
Thought I grabbed one out of the
That's, if you need it, just tell me if you need it.
I see.
Evening, everybody. Welcome, Jasper family. I am seldom at a loss for words, but one of the times that I am is around somebody like Ott. So thank you for everything you stand for, Ott. I'm going to read this proclamation, then let your great-grandson take over. Okay, Mayor's Proclamation, City of Washington, Missouri, celebrating Othmar Ott Jasper. And let me add something before. Last council meeting 2 weeks ago was Purple Heart Day, and I wish I could have gotten this done then, everybody, especially you, Ott, but better late than never. Whereas Othmar Ott Jasper was born in Washington, Missouri on July 1st, 1920, and is one of Franklin County's oldest World War II veterans. And whereas Ott served in the U.S. Army from 1942 to 1945 and landed with his unit on Utah Beach in 1944, the unit fought through France, Belgium, Holland, Luxembourg, and Germany. And whereas he served as a tank gunner and was promoted to sergeant as commander of a Sherman tank throughout the final days of the war, and whereas throughout his service, Ott earned 7 medals, including 2 Purple Hearts. Now, therefore, I, James D. Hagedorn, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Washington, and on behalf of the entire city council, hereby extend Ott our token of affection and admiration of which you are regarded in this city. Thank you.
One thing I like to say about my great-grandpa, ever since I was a little kid, I can always remember my great-grandpa, and I can always remember him wearing that World War II hat. And as I was younger, I would always look up at his medal cabinet, and I'd see those 2 Purple Hearts hanging there. And it always curiosed me how he got those. Never really knew how. I'd bring it up. A lot of times I'd get ignored, but I was little back then. And as I got older, I became more persistent with it and started collecting World War II stuff. Nathan Pinter, I mean, some of you will probably know him. He was the one who gave me my first item from World War II. It was a canteen belt with some other stuff with it. But as I started collecting, I started asking Great-Grandpa more and more things and started digging deeper and looking around and kind of digging around in the house, looking for old war stuff. Kind of interests me a lot more. And he started telling me more and more gradually as I started to persist more and more. And some things he would tell me every day, as usual, over and over the story, repeated, and a little bit different each and every time. More and more, he started to shed more light on actually what he did, what he stood for, and how he accomplished it. There's several people that went to go interview him. I would always sit in the room because I was the one who Great-Grandpa talked to the most about it. I would sit in there and kind of try to shed some light on what actually happened, fill in the blanks, and everything else. First guy I interviewed him, for the most part, got an all solid interview. The second guy came from France, and he told him stuff that I didn't even know, which is very special to me, and I feel that he should be very grateful because I've known Great-Grandpa my whole life. Never met a more honest guy, never more patriot guy. Sorry. But he started talking, and he told me this funny story once, and I'd like to share it with you guys, about how he got some fish because he was sick and tired of eating K rations. He told me him and 2 guys from his tank were looking for a break in the telephone line. They were looking. They come across this pond in France. He says, I see some fish swimming away. He's like, when we come back here later on this evening to restring this line, we're going to get those fish. Comes back there with 3 hand grenades. He goes and he tells his guys to get down on the ground because he's going to throw those hand grenades in there and get them fish. Quickly as he could pull the pin on them grenades, threw them in there one by one. Each one of them went off. He laid on the ground. Boom, boom, boom. 3 all went off. All them fish came rolling up, belly up. They went out there with a stringer, gathering them all up. Brought them to this little old French lady. She said, I'm not going to cook those fish. They're too small. He said, just cook them. So she did. So he said, those are the best thing ever. I got that picture still to this day. We found it when I was going through his stuff one day. Him and the 2 other guys. One guy is unknown who he is. Great-Grandpa's memory does not remember, but the picture on the back states that one of the guys' name, and along with Great-Grandpa. They're in their combat uniforms, tankers overalls, with their helmets. Imagine it was pretty hot that summer. So, and Great-Grandpa also told me several other stories. I'd like to share 2 more. How he got wounded, how he got his Purple Hearts. One was hit by an anti-tank gun. They were driving along the road. He was lead tank. Went through the bow gunner's position into behind the driver's spot and out the other side of the tank. soon hit by a 75 millimeter or an 88 millimeter. Both of them were the Germans' anti-tank guns, standard issue for them. And he got hit, peppered by shrapnel. He's sitting there and he said, I'm hit, I'm hit. He kicked him in the helmet and told him to shut up. So when the fire stopped, he got dragged out of the top turret of the tank onto the back and behind the tank, where he was then loaded onto a stretcher, carried past the other 2 tanks in headquarters company, loaded on the Jeep that was with their column. Him and his loader were then sent to a hospital in the rear. He said he'd never seen his bow gunner or his driver ever again. Second time he got wounded was in a mortar attack. Great Grandpa always never did tell the story straight every single time, but we're working on that. But from what I do know from hard facts was his Tommy gun smashed his big toe because he fell on it during a mortar attack. So smashed his big toe, and as I directly quote from Great Grandpa, man, that hurt something fierce when they had to tear that toenail off. He said they didn't give me no medication to numb the pain. They just tore it right off. But I love my great grandpa, and I love everything that he did. He's a great inspiration for me, even to this day. And I know he's a great role model for me and for many people like me. And I think he can be a great role model for everybody and everybody can learn something from him. Thank you all, and have a good evening.
Thank you. All right, now another hero. Where's Mark? There he is. Come on up, Mark. We're going to miss you, buddy. It's been a year and a half, way too short for me. But let me read this and I'll let you talk, okay? Okay. Recognizing Mark Scornia for his service to the City of Washington and wishing him continued success upon his retirement from public service. Whereas it is with great admiration and respect we honor Mark Scornia, a valued employee of the City of Washington, on this occasion of his retirement after 6 years of dedicated service to the city as Emergency Management Director. And whereas he started his public service career with the Washington Volunteer Fire Company in August of 1980, oh, that's a long time ago, and served as secretary from June 82 to June 84, Mark rose through the ranks and became first lieutenant from July 84 to July 88, second lieutenant from July 89 to July 90, captain from July 90 to July 97. Assistant Chief from June 97 to June 2017, and was reelected as Assistant Chief in 2021, where he still serves. And whereas Mark joined the City of Washington in August of 2017 as Emergency Management Director, where he has faithfully served the community. During his tenure, he served as safety officer, trained staff in CPR and AED usage, instructed NIMS training to staff and elected officials, navigated us through COVID-19, no easy feat, revived the city's safety program, helping to reduce employee injuries and raising safety awareness and how it affects workman's comp premiums, and coordinated replacement of backup generators in critical infrastructure buildings within the city. And whereas his years of service have been marked by exemplary dedication to the best interest of our community and the public safety of our employees and citizens. Mark is entitled to just recognition for his efforts in the important work for the good in the growth and development of the City of Washington, where he is proud to be a part of the community as a whole. Now therefore, I, James D. Hagedorn, do hereby honor and congratulate Mark Scornia for 6 years of dedicated public service to the city of Washington, and speaking on behalf of the city council and all our citizens, do hereby tender him this proclamation, extending our congratulations on his retirement and our best wishes to him for continued success, happiness, and good health for years to come. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed to be here after Mr. Jasper. So, Mr. Jasper, thank you very much for service to our country. So, thank you, council, for giving me the opportunity to work here the past 6 years. It's just been quite a ride, been a lot of fun. So, thank you for that opportunity.
Dear council members, I herewith submit for your approval the following for appointment to the Washington Historic Preservation Commission: Deanna Fitzgerald, term ending August of 2024. Is Deanna here tonight? There you are. Welcome, Deanna.
I'll make a motion, Your Honor.
I'll second.
Motion by Patke, second by Bear. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Welcome, Deanna.
Thank you.
Public hearings, rezoning 1780 High Street.
All right. Good evening, council. There are 4 items here, under 3A, B, C, and D, that are all relating to the same project. We've looked at this a couple times now, but as it is a planned development, it does have to go through a couple different processes to get approved. And typically, we would do a resolution approving the preliminary development plan, and if there's any comments or changes, we would then come back to a separate meeting with the ordinance for the final. Well, at both P&Z P&Z meetings, and the last time it came to council, there were no comments or changes, so we asked Piontek if we could just do it all at once, and that's what we're doing here tonight. So just to refresh your memory, it is this property located on the south, the new High Street extension, 1780 High Street, directly across from what is now going to be the Phase 3 of Riverbend Estates. And here's the property. It currently is that R1C single family attached, so for more traditional duplexes. Here's the zoning that's around it. So there's a lot of senior community zoning in the general area, and for their target market, that obviously matches the area. This is an outdated map. We've since annexed this, so this donut is no longer there. But this is the site plan that is approved with the rezoning. It's 25 units, and you can see here more traditional, they're single-story duplexes, but instead of the traditional duplexes, you have a 4-plex, 2 6-plexes, a duplex, a 4-plex, and a 3-plex. And then Walter Way here is 30 feet wide, but with a full cul-de-sac, and then they'll have no parking on one side as required in the code. Again, a rendering of what they will look like per the plan development requirements. And then just a little bit more details when it came to the utilities, grading work, and all that. This did go to site plan multiple times. Actually, a lot of the improvements were already in before they submitted, because again, this was going to be traditional duplexes, so some of the improvements went in for that, and then it was sold to Bridgewater Communities, and they were able to design this around the existing infrastructure. So there wasn't too much of comments or changes, again, from our city staff. So that's really all we have. We recommend approval of the development. Again, planning and zoning reviewed twice, and both times unanimously approved passing this rezoning and development plan. So Happy to answer any questions. I did see Tim Miller here as well with Bridgewater, if you have any questions for him.
No questions. I'll move to accept in the minutes.
Okay.
I think you have to open it up to the
I
public.
guess we have to ask, yeah, if there's anyone
You
in
have
the
to,
audience.
it's a public hearing, so you have to go ahead and open it up.
Does anyone in the audience have any questions or would like to address the council concerning this, this proposal or application? Okay.
I'll stick with the same.
Second by Patke, motion by Bear. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's introduced.
An ordinance rezoning 1780 High Street from R1C Single Family Attached to PDR Planned Residential in the City of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri.
Bear.
Introduced by Bear. Okay, any further discussion, you guys? Okay, go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance rezoning 1780 High Street from R1C Single Family Attached to PDR Planned Residential in the City of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri. Reed.
Yes.
Coulter.
Yes.
Heidrich. Patke.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Bear.
Yes.
By your vote, the ordinance passes. 7C, please.
A resolution approving the preliminary development plan submitted by Bridgewater Communities, Inc. for the property located at 1780 High Street, Washington, Missouri.
Bear.
Introduced by Bear. Further discussion? I see none. I'll take a motion.
You need a second.
Yeah, it's a resolution.
It's a resolution. So we do need a motion.
You got one, I think.
Yes.
Motion by Bear, second by Briggs. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Okay? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution passes.
An ordinance somebody say something.
No, go ahead.
An ordinance approving the final development plan submitted by Bridgewater Communities, Inc. for the property located at 1780 High Street, Washington, Missouri.
Patke.
Introduced by Patke.
Any discussion?
No discussion? Okay, go ahead, Sheriff.
An ordinance approving the final development plan submitted by Bridgewater Communities, Inc. for the property located at 1780 High Street, Washington, Missouri. Reed.
Yes.
Coulter.
Yes.
Heidrich.
Aye.
Patke.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Bear.
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance passes.
Citizens' comments?
Does anyone in the audience have any comments? Okay. 5, please.
Report of department heads. Washington Police Explorer Post 2438.
Why don't you guys face the council first? Let's do that. There we go. They'd like to see your face. Good evening, Mayor, City Council. I just want to take a few minutes to recognize our Explorer Post. They recently attended a St. Louis Regional Academy, and they brought home some hardware, so I thought that was deserving recognition. 3 third-place awards, one for arrest and search, one for a CIT incident, and another for a shooting investigation. So I'm pretty proud of them. They put a lot of work and effort into preparing for that, along with the advisors. So they did a great job, and they're a great example for the community, a great group of young people that our youth can look up to, in my opinion. So. This is Officer Schmel. She's the lead advisor. She can tell you about what they did at the academy more so than I can.
So
You
we
can
took.
pull that down, Mindy.
Pull it down.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm short. We took 3 of our kids. The other ones had some prior existing things that they couldn't attend. But it was a week long from Sunday to the following Saturday. We held it at Lindenwood. They stayed there all week. They were up at, what time, 6 a.m.? 5:30, something like that. So we PT'd them every morning at 5:30, and then they didn't go to bed till 10. Well, that was their choice. They had free time from 8 to 10 o'clock, but they were going for basically 7 days straight, more or less, though. So these role plays, we do role plays every year. We have Academy. So they were competing against St. Louis City, St. Louis County. St. Louis City and St. Louis County both have cadet programs. So, like, that's what these guys do. They get paid to do it. And so for them to get these third place awards, you know, beating them, beating O'Fallon, Hazelwood. So all of these different St. Louis municipalities had posts there that our kids competed against. And us winning these is a super big accomplishment because I've been an advisor for probably 13 years, and I can't recall the last time that our kids brought any hardware home.
Yay.
So
Good
we're
job.
pretty proud of them.
Great job, everybody.
Ordinances and resolutions. An ordinance amending the 2023 budget of the City of Washington, Missouri for the purchase and installation of a 100 kW generator and transfer switch for the Communications Division at the Public Safety Building.
Patke.
Introduced by Patke.
Jennifer is here if you have any questions, but this is basically, you approved this back in December, but I think at that time, they needed to go ahead and also indicate that it was a budget amendment as well, and that was not covered at that time.
Correct. We didn't know when we would actually receive it due to
Timing.
delivery delays, and so we didn't know which budget year to put it under.
No discussion? Okay, go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance amending the 2023 budget of the City of Washington, Missouri for the purchase and installation of a 100 kW generator and transfer switch for the Communications Division at the Public Safety Building. Reed?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Heidrich?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7A passes. B, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a maintenance agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and AT&T for maintenance of 911 call handling equipment and services and amend the 2023 budget.
Patke.
Introduced by Patke.
This is for the call handling and equipment maintenance for the 911 system. Previously, it was paid for by the county. When our contract expired back in May, they passed it on to the individual PSAPs. We were back and forth with that, as we have been with everything else with the 911 project. And ultimately, here we are. In order for us to continue with the 911 project, it will help with our costs associated with the new system, so that they don't have to install all new equipment and get new licensing and everything. So, if you have any questions.
Good. Go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a maintenance agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and AT&T for maintenance of 911 call handling equipment and services and amend the 2023 budget. Reed?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Heidrich?
Aye.
Patke?
Aye.
Briggs?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7B passes. C, please.
An ordinance amending the 2023 budget of the City of Washington, Missouri for construction of the East-West Parkway project.
Patke.
Introduced by Patke.
So this is, originally we had budgeted $700,000 for the Earthcrest extension. We never got that project going with the developer, so we used those funds for the purchase of land, which was about $350,000, and then $40,000 for the design of East-West Parkway. And that did not leave enough funds to cover the cost for the construction, which is about $663,000. So we're amending the budget to cover the costs.
No questions? Okay, go ahead.
An ordinance amending the 2023 budget of the City of Washington, Missouri for construction of the East-West Parkway project. Reed?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Hydrich?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
By your vote, 7C passes. D.
Charles, can you, just before you get on to the next one, what's the schedule on this?
On the East-West
For
Parkway?
construction, yeah.
They're looking to get started pretty soon, so I don't know how the exact time frame, but
Okay,
next couple weeks.
okay, thank you.
7D, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a contract agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and KJ Undersaw Construction Company for the Second Street Improvements Project and amend the 2023 budget.
Patke?
Introduced by Patke.
Yeah, so KJ Understall was the low bid. They came in at almost $860,000. We had budget $825,000, so we'll need a $35,000 budget amendment, and they're looking to do this project January of next year, January to April.
This would be one of the first streets downtown that
Downtown,
we've
yep.
got to go ahead and rebuild.
be.
These funds are for, at least for this street. We cannot apply for federal assistance, so this is totally on our transportation sales tax budget.
And the Downtown Core Restructuring Committee is a subcommittee of Downtown Inc. It's kind of going to take this on as a opportunity to help educate the property owners and the businesses on Second Street, and then we can use that as a template when we finally do Main Street, because we know it is going to be tough to let people, the general public, know that the businesses are still open, we can keep access there, so we're going to work with downtown to make sure those businesses don't get disrupted too much.
That's why the goal is to go ahead and build it January through April.
Yeah.
At least this
Will it be complete sidewalk replacement or just as needed?
complete.
Complete sidewalk on Second Street?
Yep.
Both sides?
Yep, sidewalk, curb and gutter. They're gonna put in new brick pavers for the crosswalks, and then asphalt.
Okay. No bump outs.
What's that? I'm sorry?
No bump outs. No bump outs.
Okay, go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a contract agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and KJ Understraw Construction Company for the Second Street Improvements Project and amend the 2023 budget. Reed?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Hydrich?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7D passes. E, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a contract agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and NB West Contracting for the Westlink Drive Improvement Project, STP-6400627.
Patke?
Introduced by Patke.
This project is Westlink from Bluff, it's an overlay from Bluff Road to West Main, and then it's also reconstructing the right turn from Westlink onto Bluff Road. So it's better for the tractor trailers turning there. And this actually came in under budget, so. And it's a federal project, so 80-20 split on that.
Cool.
Is this the same type of material that they put on the streets last time they were in town?
No, this is actual.
This is an
DP
actual overlay.
asphalt.
Okay.
Yep, 2-inch asphalt overlay, so.
And in the same vein, we're going to work on getting some flyers and education out to the businesses that, you know,
The industries.
some disruption out there, but
It should be pretty minimal.
Yeah.
So. And they're hoping to do that this fall still, get that in.
This fall still? Okay.
Yep.
No further questions? Go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a contract agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and NB West Contracting for the Westlink Drive Improvement Project, STP-6400627. Reed?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Heidrich?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7E passes. F, please.
An ordinance providing for the approval and acceptance of minimum improvements for maintenance for River Place Subdivision Plat 2 in the city of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri.
Patke.
Introduced by Patke.
So this is Andy's development down there at Olive and West Main, the apartments down there. And they put in a sanitary main and a water main, so it's just accepting those and then taking the maintenance bond and agreement, so.
Okay. Go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance providing for the approval and acceptance of minimum improvements for maintenance for River Place Subdivision Plat 2 in the city of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri. Reed?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Heidrich?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7F passes. G, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a residential sale contract and amendment to sale contract by and between the city of Washington, Missouri and Miles Branch.
Heidrich.
Introduced by Heidrich.
This is to enter into a contract with the highest bid we received recently for 302 Lafayette. As you can see within there, they're agreeing to purchase it at a total price of $295. The only, I think they're limited to a structural and foundation inspection. We do have a secondary buyer if this would fall through at the next. As a matter of fact, might even have a third one if that would even fall through. So, but with approving this, we can go ahead and enter into contract with them and negotiate with this gentleman.
Okay. Go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a residential sale contract and amendment to sale contract by and between the city of Washington, Missouri and Miles Branch. Reed?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Heidrich?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7G passes. H, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a special sale contract by and between the city of Washington, Missouri and R.C. Schrader Construction, LLC.
Patke.
Introduced by Patke.
This is the lot the city owns over on 604 Hancock. We'd like to go ahead and put this back out. We only received one request at the proposals that we requested, but it was for $45,100, and the staff recommends to go ahead and enter into a contract with them. It's R.C. Schrader Construction, LLC. They're a known builder around town, so I'd like to move forward with it.
I think we all would. Go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a special sale contract by and between the city of Washington, Missouri and R.C. Schrader Construction, LLC. Reed?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Heidrich?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Yes. 7H passes. 7I. Sherry, please.
An ordinance repealing ordinance number 23-13789 and enacting lieu thereof an ordinance authorizing and directing the acceptance of a general release and settlement agreement by and between the city of Washington, Missouri and KIST LLC.
Heidrich.
Introduced by Heidrich.
Earlier this summer, you entered into a settlement agreement with KIST LLC. This was to go ahead and replace some concrete work where there was a bank of conduits as a result of putting electric underground, and it was causing water to go ahead and pond. The council went ahead and approved that settlement agreement. However, as a result, after they did the concrete repair, there was an additional cost of $1,059.94 to go ahead and replace due to some damage that occurred to those existing conduit lines. So it was $1,000 over to fix that. The party that we entered into did not feel that was their responsibility to go ahead because the work was done as a result of the settlement agreement for $1,000 on the replacement of those conduits. Staff just recommends approval.
Okay, go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance repealing ordinance number 23-13789 and enacting lieu thereof, an ordinance authorizing and directing the acceptance of a general release in settlement agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and KIST LLC. Reed?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Hydrich?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7I passes. J, please.
An ordinance amending the provisions of Chapter 335, Schedule 2 of the Code of the City of Washington, Missouri by adding provisions for a stop sign at the location described below.
Patke.
Introduced by Patke.
This is a stop sign request at State Street, at Horn Street, and this was brought up, or requested by a citizen and reviewed at Traffic Committee. There's stop signs at all the other cross streets in that area, so.
Now we know where every stop sign in town is because we got it printed in our minutes.
Because there's 300 pages of it here, yeah. There is one red line edition, though.
Oh, that's
See the one.
good job, whoever did that. Now you know where every stop sign is.
Yes. Go ahead.
An ordinance amending the provisions of Chapter 335, Schedule 2 of the Code of the City of Washington, Missouri by adding provisions for a stop sign at the location described below. Reed?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Hydrich?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7J passes. K, please.
An ordinance approving a boundary adjustment for Stonecrest subdivision Plat 19 in the City of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri.
Patke.
Introduced by Patke.
All right, so this is a boundary adjustment connecting two lots into one. So at the corner here of Windcrest and Earthcrest, the applicant owns both lots and they're wanting to combine it so they can build an accessory structure or garage. Our code requires that accessory structures must be on the same lot as primary structure. So basically they need to eliminate that property line. There we go. And they did have Wunderlich submit a survey, and we were able to verify that there was no swale or anything in between, like a stormwater easement needed. Some of the other blocks over do have swales behind, but so you can see here they got the easements needed, and this will be the new lot 198R.
And the structure will have to meet the subdivision code, but nothing else with the city, right?
Yeah, setbacks. We actually got the plans Friday. It's 26 feet back from the road. Because it's a corner lot, it's weird that technically a garage can't be closer to the street than the home. And the home is 25 feet, so it's going to be 26 feet back.
Further questions? Go ahead.
An ordinance approving a boundary adjustment for Stonecrest subdivision Plat 19 in the City of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri. Reed?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Hydrich?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7K passes. L, please.
An ordinance approving a boundary adjustment for the Washmo Main Street Development Plat 2 in the City of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri.
Bear.
Introduced by Bear.
Okay. This one, we're actually undoing something you approved a couple of months ago. The old PECA building this is Main and
Lafayette?
Lafayette, thank you, Mr. Jefferson. Here, so with the construction going on and 3 new tenants and apartments up top, originally the applicant wanted them on different parcels, so that's what was approved. They have now decided to combine them into one, so do a boundary adjustment, and then they're just going to do a condo association for each unit apartments up, so they can do vertical and horizontal ownership. So that's what the plat looks like now. They got just a new lot 1A, removing property lines, so.
Thanks for the explanation. I did not get that out of what we
Okay.
sent to us.
Sorry.
I didn't either.
Yeah, it was, I think, just a couple months ago, we separated it from 1 to 3, and now we're just undoing it, so.
Anything else? Go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance approving a boundary adjustment for the Washmo Main Street Development Plat 2 in the City of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri. Reed?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Hydrich?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7L passes. M, please.
A resolution adopting a 2023 Community Economic Development Strategy.
All right, yes. So I explained this in my letter, but just a quick recap. As you are all aware, the city was already in the process with our comprehensive plan of also having a new economic development strategy drafted. We've always had those documents, but last year we decided to kind of combine them or have them be sister documents where they can call out and reflect on different objectives and goals between the two. And we're still in the process of that. I actually got an update from our consultant with the comp plan that they're hoping to have their last public hearing in September and then bring drafts for everyone to review in October. With that being said, the economic development strategy was in a further form of a draft form. And we are going to continue to review it. But the city is applying, our staff is applying for funding from the Economic Development Agency, EDA, to help us put public infrastructure into the Oldenburg Industrial Park. That federal agency requires every community that they give funding to have a CEDS, a Community Economic Development Strategy, that is not more than 5 years old and has to be done by a consulting firm outside of city staff. So basically, it can't be done by the city itself. And so they were aware that we were doing this process, and from our contact, the EDA, they recommended for the deadline of the grant to go ahead and have a resolution adopting this draft that meets the qualifications that EDA requires. And then when we do the full review of the comp plan and study later this year, we can make appropriate adjustments. So what I'm asking for tonight is a resolution adopting said study that talks about us pulling from the general region mostly for our workforce. That's what qualifies us for this grant. Franklin County itself is about 1 or 2 points above the economic distress threshold for EDA, but Warren County, Gasconade County, Jefferson County, and Crawford County all do meet that threshold, and we had significant evidence that we poll. I think about 12% of our workforce in total comes from those areas. That's what qualifies us for the grant. So adopting this tonight allows us to hopefully finalize that grant application, receive those funds, and then I will be bringing this document to our comprehensive plan committee for further review, and we will adopt a final draft of it later this year.
No questions.
Good work, Sal. I will admit I did not read it word for word, but I'll take your word that it's right.
Yep. Bob Lewis is our consultant with that. He has been doing, he is the subcontractor with H3, and if you actually see on there, it's done by the St. Louis University Planning Lab. So they've had, grad students helping out on this for a long time, and so this first version is actually pretty solid. I know I want to send it to our committees before we actually say this is a done deal. So
We actually, at least one of the public hearings, I think we reviewed quite a bit of this too
Yeah.
for the comp plan, but.
correct.
Yeah,
A
Bob
lot of
presented a
information.
lot of this.
A lot of information there.
Yep.
Right. I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Bear to approve the resolution. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Mayor's report?
Special council meeting, you guys, a week from tonight, 6 p.m. We need to set the tax rate like we do every year. And the next regular council meeting is Tuesday, September 5th, due to the Labor Day holiday. So that's all I have.
City Administrator's report?
Just a couple of things. We are in the process, we'll be doing interviews tomorrow to replace Mark Scorney, our Emergency Management Director. We have 2 candidates that our committee is going to go ahead and interview. So we'll be providing you more information as we move through that process. Mark's last day with us is September the 1st. So short timer. So That's one item. Second item that I had for you, Mark came in, Mark Piantek, our attorney, obviously does not always attend the special meetings or whatever, but he provided us with some information. You do have to go ahead and hold a public hearing on those sewer rate increases, and we have to go ahead and post it and give 30 days notice. So what I'm going to propose to do is to have another special meeting at the end of September. We're looking at September the 27th, because we have to go ahead, we're not going to be able to get it into Wednesday's paper, so we'll probably have to go ahead and get it into the weekend paper, the notice. So that would be August 25th, and then September 27th, we would have the public hearing with an ordinance to follow for the new rates. So hopefully we can get a quorum. If for some reason, after Sherry or I reach out to you and we don't have a quorum, we'll figure something else out.
8 o'clock meeting, I guess,
We can make it
so you can get a quorum.
whatever time we can. Whatever time we can get 5, 6 people here.
Gotta have my 5.
Now I gotta keep Mondays and Wednesdays both open now.
And Tuesdays. So,
Yeah, and Tuesdays, right.
If we want to repeat everything Harry said, we gotta shut the mics off.
Council comments?
Ellis?
I think it was very nice tonight. It's nice to see the council chambers full and recognized. Your Honor, nice letter, and for Audie Jasper's great-grandson, and what a, time at a city council meeting for a story, but it was well worth the while to listen to that and see his family here, what he's done. Again, it's nice to see Mark be recognized, his fellow firefighters here. The guys who, the first ones that make fun of him on a daily basis are here to respect you too, so that's nice. And Police Explorer, so thank you for that too, Chief. So it's not just a run-of-the-mill meeting, but those things are awesome to see too, so thank you.
Piece of Americana.
Got a few questions here. I tried to ask this over an email, and you guys were kind of confused by it, I guess, or,
I wasn't confused.
well, what was it then? You didn't have?
No, you asked us questions. You asked us 6 questions on Thursday. And so we got back with you. Sherry said, "Good morning, Mark. Darren and I are working on getting answers for you." This was Friday morning.
Example.
And could you please give us examples as to what you're referring to for numbers 2, 3, and 4?
Example.
So then you said you would call us. That was on Friday.
And I
And we
was
said we'll
told-
talk to you on Monday.
Yeah, so it's Monday, so I'm talking.
So here we go. Yep.
So, just have a few questions here, going through the monthly expense reports. I've seen some things in there that, like these, well, here, what did you say? You didn't answer any, but you wanted 2, 3, and 4. So 3, I'll start out with 3 first. What projects did we have that we needed 325 plus bales of straw?
The early report, I haven't gotten you a full report, but the early report, from what I understand, was that that was needed out at the landfill. But I will get you more information.
Okay. Number 4, I see a bunch of reimbursements for miles that we're giving, and I don't understand why we're not, why we're reimbursing for miles when we have even more City of Washington vehicles here than when I first started, sitting here in the parking lot that can be used.
And again, I'm trying to get more information from each department as to who had requested reimbursement of miles. And when I get that, I will forward that to you.
A lot of forwarding. A lot of forwarding. Highway 100 upkeep.
I want to get you, I want to get you complete answers.
Why aren't we shutting down a lane, a MoDOT stop lane like we did with when City of Washington was doing it?
I'd have to check with Wayne to see if the contractor, I assume, are you talking about maintenance of the medians?
Yeah, Highway 100.
I will check to see if their contract called for them to have to go ahead and do that. Was there something unsafe that you witnessed that you are concerned about?
Well, the reason that was one of the selling points that we heard, because it was more safe using them than it was using our own.
They're more
people.
accustomed to that, yes.
And, they're just right out there and there's nothing shut down. They're out there just working away, and I'm just curious if there's supposed to be a lane shut down or not for safety reasons.
And I'll check into that for you, Mark.
So Mark, you're saying that the company was out there without a lane shut down, working on the meetings?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I was,
I've seen the same thing.
yeah, I was questioning, I didn't know if you were asking, do they have because we bought that board or whatever, you know, the lane, or shut a lane down. Your question is, why are they not doing that, or are they required to do that? Is that what you're asking?
Well, both.
Okay.
Yeah, both, more or less. You know, if it's in their contract, they should be doing it. You know?
Yeah, no, I'm just asking what you
Yeah.
had seen or something different than I've seen, yeah.
I've seen in the past where we've had civic organizations, employees, members of civic organizations, and I was wondering, I've always wanted to ask this through all these years, and I see reimbursement from the city of Washington, and I was just curious why we're paying for these.
Most of the, we encourage our department heads to go ahead and join civic organizations. We feel it's probably the best way for them to go ahead, one of the better ways for them to go ahead and stay in touch with questions that the community has. I'm a member of Rotary. I go to that and present information to them probably on a every 6 month, year basis. Give them reports, the mayor as well, but we encourage all our department heads to do that. We found it's been a positive way to go ahead and communicate to the public.
So you are as well?
Yep.
And the city of Washington's paying for it?
Yep.
Well, then, why isn't the council getting reimbursed for any civic organizations they belong to?
The mayor has requested it in the past, not just this mayor, previous mayors have been members of different organizations. We have not provided that for council members in the past.
Okay. Lunches. See a lot of lunches being bought. I know this was before your time, Mayor, that these birthday lunches started. But I'm just curious, how many people do we take out when we're taking out people for birthday lunches?
It varies between, I think the least number we've had is 3 and the most is 20.
So we do this once a month for
That's
anybody
correct.
that's, if
In their
if it's
birthday
August,
month.
their, every birthday in August.
It's for the hourly employees only. Those in the trenches.
And I see a lot of regular lunches that are being bought here and there, and I'm sure it's, I'm sure there's some important meetings, but I've just been seeing them here often. And some prices are way expensive, and some are only $10. So just curious on that.
Be happy to get you more information on that.
All right. Charles, when NB West is back in town doing that job, if we could take them in the cul-de-sacs that they did that they laid that asphalt down, I know I asked already, and I was told, well, it just happens in the cul-de-sacs. Well, it's actually coming up. I mean, you know, with the turns, if that stuff does not hold up, I mean, I waited 20-something years for our street to get paved, and now it's crumbling up with people turning in the cul-de-sac.
I would say you can go down to Fair Street where they did regular asphalt, you'll see that in the cul-de-sacs and any of the asphalt streets. Really, the only solution is concrete. So, but I mean, to go around and concrete all the balls of the cul-de-sacs would be.
Is there any kind of
project.
warranty or anything when they do these streets? Like when I do a project, I have to warranty it for a year.
Right.
So, I mean, is there any kind of, you know, for their material to hold up? Is there any kind of?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're seeing this all over the place. So I guess what's warranty? Come back in a year, do it again, and just keep doing it every year? Is that, I don't know what, you know, what.
But
how long
at the
the
same
warranty
token,
is
I don't
good
want to
for.
pay somebody to do a job and
No, I
it
get it.
turns to crap. So
No, I get it.
I was just curious if there's
Yeah,
any
we'll
kind of
look.
warranty.
I can look
in
into
all
that a
this.
little more. I will say Dave from NB West did come out. He said they see that different contractors all over St. Louis, you know, in these cul-de-sacs and these turnarounds, especially with more Amazon trucks, the trash trucks. You just got heavy turn motions back there. It's bound to happen, but I don't know if I have a good solution for you.
There's probably not, but that's, you know, what my question was there any kind of warranty on their product?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we usually have a warranty. If they come back and they do it again, and this happens again, then we're in the same spot, I guess, that does that accomplish anything, I guess is my question.
But I wonder if NB West is even, will they warranty asphalt in the cul-de-sac? Because they know it's gonna happen that way.
Right.
I
Right.
don't think I don't think this is a default in the company. I think that's what it does. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, that's what we're seeing. I could check with some other asphalt companies, but I think that's what they're all gonna say across the board is, you just have so much turning in that tight radius there that it's just gonna happen with asphalt, any asphalt products.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
Go ahead.
So moved.
Motion by Pat Key. Second.